Hello everyone and welcome to Don't Be Bored. Today I'm going to be replaying an interview I did with Jess from Community Connection Gaming that was originally shown on Tabletop Tea Time. That's the monthly show that I invite creators on to talk about a topic or interview them, and Jess was really kind and came on and was the spotlight creator. So let's pass over to that interview and pass over to Jess to introduce herself and tell you a little bit about her channel.
Hey there, I'm Jess from Community Connection Gaming. I stream tabletop playthroughs on Twitch, and I also do crafting streams, and I guest on other people's streams on Twitch, and you can find me on my Twitch channel at twitch.tv/Jess_CCG. I'm the owner of Community Connection Gaming, where we strive to bring a more diverse group of players to the gaming table. We try to create safe spaces for everyone to play board games together, and we also highlight those diverse voices in the hobby that are doing wonderful things that we want to promote as well. I identify as a woman. My pronouns are she, her, and I also identify as a person of color. So those two communities can really benefit from what I'm doing in the board gaming space. And so that's why I'm here doing what I do.
Hearing from different people and hearing their voices about this hobby is what makes it great, because the important thing is everyone can have a different favourite game. Well, that segues really nicely into my second rapid fire question of what is your favourite game and favourite mechanism?
Ooh, favorite game and favorite mechanism. That's really difficult. I've been around this hobby since 2017, so I have seen a lot of designer board games come and go. I will say one of my tops is a game called Elder Sign. It is a press your luck dice rolling game where you are cooperating together as investigators to try to rid the town of various elder gods and things. It is based a lot around the H.P. Lovecraft fiction, and though I am not a fan of H.P. Lovecraft, I wish this game had any other theme. But it is one that I just enjoy to play because the odds are stacked so against you that you have no idea if you're going to win the game or not. And when you get that perfect dice roll, the win just seems so much more sweet than it would if you just randomly had some cards that allowed you for like a win condition. So definitely would mention Elder Sign. So Press Your Luck is one of my favorite mechanisms. I will also give an honorable mention to worker placement games. I do enjoy a good place your person on a thing, get said resources, collect the resources, and then turn them in for victory points, kind of thing. So that would be a runner-up mechanism for me. And another game that I would say for that kind of mechanism for worker placement, definitely one up there would be Lost Cities, the board game. Although you're not getting resources per se, it is kind of like a race to the temple. So the quicker you get your pieces out, the better your chances are to get those victory points. So it's a little tangentially for worker placement. But I do enjoy some of those games that you place your person on a thing, like Lords of Waterdeep, for example. Place your person on a space, get those resources, that kind of thing. So that would be my two favorite games with some honorable mentions thrown in there. But honestly, I do like a lot of games in general. It really just depends on the group of people that I'm playing with. I can go cooperative, I can go competitive. It doesn't matter as long as we're all enjoying ourselves and having a good time together. That's all that matters to me.
Cooperative games like Elder Sign, I think they do a really great job of making everyone round the table cheer for each other rather than cheer against each other where you get with a competitive game. So if that's what you like, having everyone round the table having fun together, co-op, I can see why that works so well for you. Now for a bit of a fun one, what game has the best box art?
Well, there There has been, I do remember reading an article where there are a lot of more animals on box art than there are female presenting characters on box art, which is quite interesting. So I'm hoping in the future we can kind of, get away from that. We can kind of make it more diverse and have more female presenting heroes and things on boxes. And so, with that being said, I will highlight one of my favorite artists is Vincent Dutrait. I think a lot of his artwork is just so appealing to me that whenever I see a game on the shelf that looks similar to his design style, most likely I will think in my head, oh, yes, that's a Vincent Dutrait piece. But today I'm not mentioning a Vincent Dutrait piece. I am actually leaning more towards the lady designers, lady illustrators, if you will. And I will mention Wormspan, illustrated by Clementine Campardu. I apologize if I have butchered her name, but it's just a giant dragon on the front. I love anything fantasy related, anything that has to do with fairy tales and mythology and things like that. So seeing this on a box cover was an instant eye grabber for me. I will also mention that the watercolor backgrounds of this art make the dragons themselves just pop and kind of come alive. I mean, you could see on the side here, we've got the little baby, we got the little baby dragons over here, and then we've got some of the other serpent-like dragons and whatnots. But these are just so fantastic that I wish there were more art in general on box covers, because I think something like this is just so wonderful. I wish we can get away from those beige colored boxes. You all know what I mean. And no offense to those illustrators that's the direction they're given, like give me a beige colored game, but I want color in my life, and I want color when it comes to board games. So definitely shout out to Wormspan and Clementine's illustrations, because they are just fantastic.
Certainly down with the beige. 100% agree with you on that one. Now, what game did you play last?
I'm so glad you asked this question, because we just got a game to the table last night. So on my Twitch stream, I often stream with other guests and whatnot. And recently I've been streaming with my husband. And so last night on stream, we played Tabriz, which is from Crafty Games, designed by Randy Flynn, who you might know was also the designer of Cascadia, which recently won the Spiel des Jahres. And so this game, you are all about collecting goods in a marketplace. I guess this could also be considered like a worker placement thing, because you're moving around the bazaar and collecting goods to build, to create your woven goods, your carpets, if you will. So this game is really, really fantastic. I was fortunate enough to play test it before it went on to crowdfunding, and I really had a wonderful time with this game. What was so fantastic about it was the fact that Randy has actually lived in this part of the country, and so he was familiar with a lot of the processes in the marketplace and how they divide out goods and what goods are worth certain values and things like that. So there were a lot of his personal touches in the game that you can see, and I really, really enjoyed that. He also did have like cultural consultants and things to make sure it was culturally appropriate, which I highly recommend for all future game designs. If you're a future game designer or striving to be, please, please, please make sure you have a cultural consultant to work on your game to make sure it is appropriate for everyone that gets to play it. Also mentioning, there are ladies on the box, and I'm so excited. Oh yes, there's another lady right here. So shout out again to having lady designs on the box, although it is illustrated by Sid Feeney And Dan May, I do want to highlight that there are ladies on this box. So more ladies, please. So yes, that's a breeze. Unfortunately, I did not win last night, but it was a really close game. If you want to check it out, our video on demand is on my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/Jess_CCG, and you can watch our gameplay there.
Now, you alluded to this earlier, but what other hobbies outside of board gaming do you have?
Other hobbies that I enjoy are crafts. I like to work with my hands, so there are occasional times on stream where I'd be painting miniatures, or I work with beads and make jewelry, or I do lanyard string and do bracelets, or even brick building. And probably like a year or so ago, I did this really awesome Mandalorian ship. Da 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 da. It's got little Mando inside there and baby Grogu in there. I actually built this on stream, which was really cool. So I definitely enjoy tinkering with those kinds of things. And if you are part of my community, if you are like a Patreon subscriber or a Twitch subscriber, most likely you have received some kind of handicraft from me over the holidays. I was able to make some perler bead ornaments for people's Christmas trees. So that was a really nice thing that I like to do for my friends and for my community for the holidays.
And last but not least, what can people expect to see on your channel in the next few weeks?
What can people expect to see on our channel? Well, David and I are doing most likely one night a week. I have the fortunate job of working at a local game store, so a lot of my evenings and weekends are booked actually being in person working retail. But I have the time to do once a week with him, and we play two-player scenarios of certain board games, and we have a ton of stuff on our shelf of opportunity. Lots of games that I received during Gen Con all the way through the end of the year and through like PAX Unplugged and things. So you will most likely see some of those games. Also, like with Tabriz, we have a lot of crowdfunding deliveries happening in the next few months. So stay tuned for that. But check the schedule online. Most likely it is on Thursdays at 6 p.m. Pacific. And you can check out all of our VOD on my YouTube channel as well, youtube.com/Jess_CCG for all the previous videos and iterations if you didn't get to catch it live. So I hope to see you. And like I say on my stream, until next time, be kind to one another, enjoy your board games, stay safe, and we'll catch you next time. Bye.
And, well, that wraps up the interview with Jess. Like I alluded to earlier, this was part of Tabletop Tea Time, the ongoing series, monthly show where I invite creators on, so you can go and watch that. You see this interview, but interviews with other content creators in the board gaming space, not only interviews, but also we're talking about different gaming topics, and you can maybe find out about some creators that you weren't aware of before, because that's what the fun of it's for. But anyway, thank you for Jess for doing this interview, and thank you to you for watching, and until next time, have a great day gaming.